Whoa, what is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horne, and this is the NWA. It's the show where we celebrate the past, present, future history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest pro wrestling entity of all time. We're talking
the
about
MCWA. Is that what you're gonna say?
Now, Will's trying to rebrand it.
Oh well, I mean, I thought that's where we were now.
That's a slick shirt you got there. Where you get that?
It really is. I got a deal on it.
Those other two voices you're hearing are the angelic tones of Danny Dealz and, of course, Wil Martin, who is repping Matt Cardona all over the place.
Why not? He's the champ, the real world champ.
We're at the Dealz house, so you got to say hi to everybody else here. Martina's here, Moo's here, Josh, Maddie, Vin's back there. You got to say hi to everybody.
Got the whole team. Hey, team.
Yeah.
And we want to give a shout out to everybody out in the chat. Thanks for joining us on this live show. Of course, we're streaming live on YouTube right now, and hopefully, if things go well, eventually on a podcast feed for you to listen to later if you're only able to listen sometimes. But Chris Drummond giving support in the chat. Thanks for being here, Chris. Great shirt, Will, he says. Okay. Jedi Warrior John Scott's here. Eric's here. Polka Dot Pam's here. Noni McPawney is here. And hey, Wrestling with the MMA is here, and he's asking Danny Dealz any baby onesies in the NWA store. The reason he's asking that is because he just found out he's going to be a grandfather. Congratulations to you.
Nice.
Wow. We might have to use one of these and cut it and stitch it up and turn it into one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I saw the tweet of these today, though. Well, congratulations.
You also get a picture.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and throw that up there right now. If you joined or go to the National Wrestling Alliance.com/shop, you can get yourself one of these cool. I made a graphic for this and I didn't upload it.
Yeah, where's that?
Yeah. Anyway,
just look at me. Just look at me.
Just look at beautiful. Will. Anyway, you get the
look this cool
with the T-shirt.
Yeah, that's almost gone though. So I've shipped a lot of those out.
Yeah.
Most of them to me.
You know what? Since we're here, why don't we get all this out of the way? All right. So, Candy found all kinds of stuff in the archives and sent it to me. So I made all kinds of deals, right? And we got look at all these posters. She sent me all these posters. Yeah. So I made poster bundles. Like, here's this one.
Oh, to the fire.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Old school.
That's pretty sweet.
That's got the Rock and Roll Express as tag champs there at the top.
Does. That's a vintage.
That's classic.
Poster.
That is.
Then we have these. We actually, I didn't name it. Chotch named it, actually. He named it the Genesis because it's NWA 70 poster, right? Oh. And then the first two posters from the first two episodes of Power. Yeah? I'm just covering them up. I don't know what's the matter with me.
Oh, I remember those. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the retro style posters with match cards on them.
Also,
it's classic.
Yeah, well, all this is in here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows that. It's almost
NWA
gone.
USA.
Right? That's right. Candy sent me all this stuff too. This stuff like this. This is not all access. It's not. It's the only place you're going to get, which people know because I shipped a ton of these today. Oh yeah. Then I went crazy. There was already a pin bundle, right? There was already a pin bundle. Quit dinging at me. There was already a pin bundle. So then I expanded on it, right? So now you get 4 vintage pins for $20. Okay.
Ooh.
So because I found all these pins, it's kind of like the shirt bundle. There's stuff like this, right? There's stuff like this. There's not many of these, so whoever gets them first will probably get those. There might only be one of these. Yeah. There's some old stuff. There's Tom's old tag team. I don't know who's lighting me up. The Crockett Cup one, a Mama Storm. It's close to my heart.
Oh, there you
this
go.
little gimmick right here. So you get 4 for $20. I don't know which ones it's going to be. So if you buy 2, I can guarantee 8 different ones. If you go anything over than that, I don't know. And of course, the deal machine has been hard work here. So got all these old tubs that Candy sent me. So I made these 4 shirts for the same size, $20, right? And they're all random, right? Like Shooter Stevens right here. This brother right here. This is a Marty Bell one, right? Right. This one's an AK one. There's company shirts in there. There's old pay-per-view shirts. It's all kinds of stuff. I've been going crazy.
That was probably Corgan on the phone telling you to stop just making so many good deals and making the people want to spend so much money.
He's on tour in Mexico, so he doesn't know right now. So you got to get it now before he tells me to turn them all off. That might be him lighting me up on his email right here.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. You gotta look out.
Is that your fax machine going off?
Now that's over there.
Since Danny Dealz took over the NWA shop, things have been just firing on all cylinders over there. And there's anything Danny Dealz can do, it's make a good deal. So
that's a couple late. That's a few late people late giving the address for their Crockett Cup shirt, which I sent a bunch of those out today. In fact, I think I sent Noni's out today. I think she ordered a small.
Oh, Noni.
Because we had to reprint them. You know what I mean? We ran out of them.
Yeah.
So,
Eric says
getting its wings. That's right, Eric. That's right.
The
Eric's
ding
correct.
signifies an angel getting its wings because these deals are simply divine. That's beautiful. That's
well said.
He's a poet. He's a poet.
Well said.
He is.
Oh, well, thanks everybody for being here and so many cool people in the chat. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate anybody just listening and hanging out. There's a lot of stuff going on. Kyle's supposed to join us. Joe Galli might be joining us. Who knows who can ever show up? You never know. Nobody gets here on time, but we were here and we decided to start on the scheduled time. It's not the advertised time, but it was the time that I scheduled the stream for.
Oh, the deal machine did something for you, Garrison. I secured a special guest for next week, but I ain't going to tell you who it is yet.
Oh, a surprise.
Gotta tune in and find out.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm excited. So be sure to catch us next week. But stay here now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, because we're also still talking about stuff. All about, a big one that we've got to talk about, of course, is tickets are on sale now for Always Ready in Knoxville, Tennessee. You don't want to miss that. That's on June the 11th. And, here you go.
June 11th, the National Wrestling Alliance returns to pay-per-view with NWA Always Ready, live from Knoxville, Tennessee. Scheduled to appear, NWA World Heavyweight Champion Matt Cardona, Nick Aldis, Trevor Murdoch, NWA World Women's Champion Camille, Chris Adonis, NWA World Television Champion Tyrus, and many more. Tickets on sale now at NWATix.com. That's NWATix.com. The National Wrestling Alliance. Wrestling as it was meant to be.
See, Kyle's here in spirit.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't actually need Kyle here. He's in every clip that the NWA produces. So it's just, he's basically here all the time. Eric saying, Gary Horne, are you suggesting someone is late? No, sir. I would never pick on anybody for being late. I can't do that.
The pot or the kettle, Gary.
Let's see here. And I saw, Bobby in the chat mentioning I'm going to NWA Power Tapings on June 12th. And that's great that you mentioned that, Bobby, because a lot of people may not know this. But right now, of course, Always Ready is happening on June the 11th at the Knoxville Convention Center, NWATix.com to get those tickets. It's also going to be live on pay-per-view on Fight TV if you can't be there live. But also important to know is the very next day at the same place, Knoxville Convention Center, there's going to be special TV tapings of NWA Power right there in the Knoxville Convention Center. You can also get those tickets at NWATix.com. They're calling it Knocks Out because I assume Cardona has control of everything, and that means the Cardona family gets their names on everything. But anyway, so 2 days in Knoxville before heading back over to Nashville for some tapings out of Skyway Studios. But a lot of NWA action coming up in June. That's going to be a big week. Hopefully we see a bunch of you there.
Yeah, I can't believe there's still tickets available for June 11th. I mean, this is one of the milestone moments in professional wrestling. We've got a pay-per-view built around the real world's champion of professional wrestling, and it's absolutely going to sell out. It's a matter of when. So get your tickets now, NWATix.com.
And a fine T-shirt that you're wearing that's almost gone. Actually, I'm probably going to have to make some more. Before the show, because it's almost over.
We'll run down the card in a little while and talk about some of the matches that have already been announced. We've got 4 so far.
Big matches have been announced
already.
Yeah, all title matches announced so far. Now, not for your boy Cardona. We still don't know on that yet, but we have some ideas of some folks that are hunting for him. So it's going to be fun to see who gets that shot.
Get in line.
Get in line, he says. All right. Well, let's jump in and let's talk about the stuff we've seen already this past week. There was an NWA Power episode on Tuesday, a big episode, and then NWA USA on Saturday. May the 3rd, was our premiere on Fight TV. If you have NWA All Access, you can catch NWA Power right when it first premieres. It's the first time to catch it. Danny, you're
I'm gonna kill it. Hold on.
no. I'm just kidding.
All right.
Do people not know you're live on the air right now?
Yeah, well, it's gone. It's over.
Yeah.
I shut it down.
All right. Well, so here's the big news. At the opening of NWA Power, we got something I didn't quite expect, really. It was pretty interesting. With opened on an empty arena, and May Valentine with Aaron Stevens. And Aaron,
a little weird, huh?
Yeah, had a big announcement.
Pretty much, I'm done. I have traveled the world. This ring specifically, I have spilt my blood, my sweat, and I've left a piece of my soul in here when I wrestled my tribute match to, of course, the late Question Mark. The NWA has just been a place for me to kind of not only find who I was again, but just get revitalized. And it's been such a wonderful place here, but I'm done. This is it. This is goodbye. This is adios.
Like, actually done?
Are you crying?
I don't want you to go.
You're crying for me? May, but can you just stop the cameras? I had no idea you felt this way, though.
I do.
I mean, if I'm going, maybe you'd like to go with me?
You know that I'm from Brazil, right? So maybe we could go to Brazil together?
Eu aceito.
Aceita de verdade? Você vai comigo pro Brasil? Não acredito! Sério?
Eu aceito.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy. I want to go with you.
Unfortunately, I will be able to only take one. I'm going solo. Moi. I actually plan on writing a lengthy indictment against our century, and there is only room for one. There's only so much room to fit in my ideas, and look, you're okay, but I mean, this is a solo, myself, alone. No one. Me. Me, and only me. I'm sorry. You shouldn't cry, by the way. It's not very becoming on camera.
Heartbreaking for May Valentine there at the end. I didn't see it going that way, but I also didn't see Aaron Stevens announcing that he was, quote, done. I don't know. Dealz, you seem to have a lot in common with Aaron Stevens. Like you both are aloof.
We're both very
sometimes.
worldly, yes. But I don't know. I mean, May cries when I leave the soundstage every day too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to go.
But it seems like a happier cry.
I don't know about that. But, maybe he's going to go, write poetry or something. Maybe he's going to go see if, Elvis is down there in Argentina playing checkers or something.
Fee says he's messing with her emotions, and Sandoval saying a complex person. Will, what are your thoughts there?
If I've learned anything in the wrestling world, and if I've learned anything about Aaron Stevens, it's that you really do have to wait and see what is happening, because you mentioned and you quote him saying, "I'm done." We don't know exactly what that means. He didn't say the R word. So there's a lot of speculation and things like that. I think Aaron is a very complex person, as Sandoval says, and we'll have to see what all this means. But yeah, it was definitely a gut-wrenching way to start off Power.
Well, another person we could get his opinion on has joined the game, and that is Mr. Kyle Davis. Hey,
Kyle Lover.
Look at that.
Hey, a little different setup here. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm traveling right now. I'm staying on my mother's couch right now while I'm visiting Connecticut. So don't mind the stuff in the background. Don't mind me. Aaron Stevens, if he's traveling, if he really has retired, who knows? Maybe he'll end up at his family house crashing on the couch too in the meantime. All I know is he's not bringing May with him. That's all.
I know Kyle used the outdoor shower that he just built one too many times, and the wife has sent him packing. And so Kyle's now staying with his mom.
It's not that. Somebody broke their ankle, and I just want to make sure they can get back to Connecticut okay. And so I'm here visiting for the time being.
We can hear you fine. We can hear you fine, but there's like a delay on your movement, so it looks like you're breakdancing kind of. doing the robot or something.
You look kind of like that chick from The Ring, like you're gonna come through the TV. And it's just gonna.
I was going to say Max Headroom, but I think that's too old of a reference.
Yeah,
I get that.
no, I get
All
it.
right,
I
guys,
get
if
it.
my feed's problematic and I'm going to be all doing creepy little stuff at the camera,
It's not that bad, Kyle. I think
No.
it's working.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
a
I
fine shirt you have there, Kyle. Where'd you get that?
I enjoy this. I got this at the National Wrestling Alliance.com/shop. And also, I was just helping out there. Some guy named Tony right now is really inundated with a bunch of things. I was looking over the list of shipping and everything like that. I feel bad for that guy, but I feel good for everybody in the NWA who's supporting the brand and getting that merchandise in the mail there. So a lot of hot things on there. Look at that throwback one there. I like video games, and that one reminds me of a certain video game thing from the 80s. No copyright on that one, though. And also, look at that, pink and blue, two colors that bring out my eyes. So thank you, Danny Dealz, for allowing me to look good while repping the brand.
Oh, I also forgot to say that there was a delay on the Velvet After Darks, but they should be at the Dealz house by tomorrow. So they should all go out then. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, we've talked a lot about the store. Well, this part of the reason we're here is we love talking about the shop. So, and I think a lot of you guys in the chat are big fans of the shop. Dave Scooby, by the way, asking for some Kyle Davis baby pics while you're there. So make sure to start getting those out.
I have a lot on my phone. There's like my little baby butt sticking out on there, but everything like that. I'll find one for you. I'll share
Let's keep it G-rated here.
Yeah,
No
this is a
Kyle
family
Davis
show.
nudity.
There's nothing wrong when you're a child just enjoying the world with your bare ass hanging out. It's not a weird thing unless you're in your 30s and you're doing it, and then bam. Okay, is it really that bad? Because I'm not gonna lie, there's no Wi-Fi here.
Oh
So
no.
I'm using. Yeah, I have a laptop connecting to my phone hotspot, which is probably killing my feed on this. Oh boy, should I just call it a day, guys? Should I just reconvene next week? I don't want to ruin your show.
You should just come in from your phone. It's probably better.
I'm on my phone right now. That's the problem.
Oh, I thought you said you were on a laptop.
There's not a good. I am. There's not a good signal here, and my laptop's connecting to my phone. Guys, sometimes when you're chilling out places you're not used to, things get weird. I'm like
I think
in the valley
if you left the show now, I think Gary would cry like May did when Aaron left. So I don't think that you should.
I just wish
It just got miraculously
Because
better. So
if
I don't know.
you're not here, then Gary has to do the June 11th at Knoxville, Zabada. You know, he's got to do all that. So
And that's exactly what I say. I become
Zob zabadab.
yeah, all right, God rest his soul. I become Bill Cosby there. R.I.P.
It's the NWA Texas.net.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep talking about NWA Power. And what's up, Jose and media and everybody? Thanks for joining us, Ryan. Good to see you and War Hero. Next up, we had an awesome match. This is actually a rematch from Primetime Live. You had Nick Aldis take on Mike Bennett. And just, guys, if you haven't been watching NWA Power and NWA USA, I swear there have been some awesome matchups recently, just these past few weeks. And this was no exception. Nick Aldis and Mike Bennett, both exceptional in the ring, and they proved it once again. And a great back and forth match until there was a sunset flip roll through from Nick Aldis. Yeah, he just rolled straight through, grabbed the legs, hooked him, didn't let go, hit that Kingsland cloverleaf, and unfortunately, there's no escape from that. Mike Bennett taps out. Nick Aldis with another victory. He is beating everybody anybody puts in front of him. And you even heard Billy Corgan on commentary in this one talking about that, Nick gets the benefit of the doubt most of the time. He's had multiple reigns, a long period of time. He helped build the NWA.
So you're saying that the corrupt referees that Medusa hired looked the other way if he might have grabbed the tights there in the finish. Is that what you're saying?
This was NWA Power, not NWA USA for one. And Medusa wasn't in the room as far as I know.
Same officials.
Anyway.
Will.
Wow. You could go back and watch the tape. Nick Aldis, clean win, and he beats Mike Bennett, and he's on his way back to a title shot if he keeps this up. That's for sure.
I mean, let's face it. Bennett
he
and
already had a
Taven are an amazing tag team, the OGK, and it's really nice when you have talent that are bridging out from what they're known for in the National Wrestling Alliance.
So he's going to put over his Northeast brothers.
I am going to put over my Northeast brothers. You're absolutely correct. As single competitors, they both have won champions everywhere they've gone. But as a tag team, they have become legendary. And I think at this point, you're looking at two guys that maybe need to reconvene as a tag team and focus on that. Because with our tag team division, maybe gold's in their future in that. But Nick taking him out, I just want to say this. Nick's on a roll, so no offense to my boy there. But at the same time, I think tag team, stick with the tag team. Go with what you're good at right now. And then also, it's always good. We all fall short sometimes. It's good to have a partner to rely on. And I think that's really what it is. Either when you try to split the difference, you either do tag and you get acclimated to that. But when you try to mix singles in there, sometimes you lose your flow. And if they start doing singles more often, they're going to get that flow back. But right now, Nick, he's on a tear and he can't be stopped. And he just got in the way.
Kyle with the Dr. Phil breakdown. Look, maybe they split off singles because they were afraid they might run into the ill-begotten. That could be it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you hadn't said it, that the OGK is probably just afraid of the ill-begotten.
Yeah, see?
Every time you say something about the ill-begotten, I'm just waiting for Alex Taylor to appear in some way, shape, or form, either on my screen. I'm just like, what's going on here?
He might show up behind you.
Yeah. Sipping a Miller Lite. He's like. I was about to say, since we're just like referencing horror movies, yeah, he's going to be like Candyman. Like you just say his name enough times, he appears behind you with a Miller Light.
He might just show up. He might just show up behind Kyle because he seems like the kind of guy that would just appear on your mom's couch. You know what I mean? Awkward. What are you doing here? That's Alex, man.
Will, I'll give you a chance. I know you didn't have much of one there. Did you have anything to say about the Nick Aldis matchup? Or actually, Will, if you want, actually right after this match, since he's your boy, let's just do this. Your boy showed up with May Valentine backstage, and May actually did ask him about Nick Aldis and him working his way towards Nick. And Kyle showing us some weird stuff from his mom's house. Anyway, May asked Matt about Nick Aldis working his way towards him, and this is what he had to say.
Matt, the whole world saw Nick Aldis's open declaration about becoming champion again. How do you feel about this?
Again? He had his opportunity. He had his rematch, and he lost. That's not my fault. I'm not the bad guy here, but I am the champion. He had all the opportunity in the world to face Trevor, to do the rematch against Trevor, but he didn't want to do that. Why? Because he's a smart man. He knew if he wrestled me, he would get buzz. He would get followers on social media. But guess what, Nick? You lost. Billy Corgan knows. Billy knows that it's my company now. He knows that I'm the star and I'm the champion. So, Nick, get to the back of the line. You know how many people I know in this business? People that call me up. They want the shot. And anybody deserves it over you, Nick.
I understand, but does it bother you at all that Nick seems to be on a roll? I mean, to the fans.
I'm on a roll.
To the fans.
I'm the champion. This is my baby. I had the 10 pounds of gold. Nobody's on a roll except for me and the Cardonas.
But the fans certainly think that he is the number one contender to your championship.
Fans think. Do you see this? Do you see this? I am the champion. I am the world's heavyweight champion. Nick, get to the back of the line. We're done here. We're done.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Matt.
All right, Will, and I'm going to throw straight to you. There's Matt's response to everything. You saw Nick Aldis working his way there, Matt Cardona telling him to get to the back of the line. Where does Wil Martin stand on this situation?
Wil Martin stands exactly word for word where the real world's champion Matt Cardona stands, and everything he said was accurate. Yeah, he had a shot. Nick had the crack at him at Crockett Cup, and we saw how that turned out. So I don't know why everyone's so convinced out of everybody in the NWA. And I'll be real. I'll be open and honest. There's a lot of people that I would put above Nick Aldis as next in line for the title shot. Trevor being one of those, of course. And then we've got a whole roster of people who haven't had a shot, who have also been on a roll that could also have that shot. So why are, they keep referencing the fans. This company's not run by fans. It's run by Billy Corgan and Matt Cardona because he's the champion, and some of the lovely people in this chat right here. So it's, the fans, that's great. We love fans. We are fans. But he's right. At the end of the day, he's got to get in the back of the line. And, he can beat 1,000 Mike Bennett's. And this is nothing taken away from Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett's incredible. But that doesn't just automatically put you in the picture for another title shot at the very next pay-per-view. So I see exactly what he's saying. And I also understand where people are coming from because they love Nick Aldis and he was the greatest champion back in the day and all this stuff. But, it's a new era. We're in a new time. This is the MCWA. This is a different time. This is not the same NWA represented on Kyle's t-shirt that Nick Aldis carried around the 10 pounds of gold in. This is another level. This is a higher level.
Kyle, I'm sitting here thinking that, it's not just that Nick Aldis. First of all, I think you have to make an open declaration sometimes to just like really put it out there that you want a title shot. Sometimes, even in UFC, it's this way. Like sometimes you say the right thing at the right time, and somebody's going to look at you and think maybe this person's got a shot. Let's get them in the picture and see what happens. Nick Aldis has been nothing but talking about this one goal, and it's personal with Matt Cardona. It's not just that his run through Mike Bennett. He's run through a bunch of people now over the past few weeks. Jordan Clearwater like a week ago. And so he's taking on all challenges to prove that he's still at the top of his game and he wants a shot. Now, that said, you do see guys start to come out of the woodwork like Tom Latimer, who clearly thinks he deserves a world's title shot and had a lot to complain about that he's never even gotten a chance. And now he's said he wants the national title. To just to make it so that you can't be denied a world title shot. I'm curious, Kyle, where do you stand? Are you with Wil on this, or do you think it's operating fairly?
I think there's a couple different ways of looking at this, and I hope you can hear me because, again, somebody said that I had a 56K dial-up modem, and I don't. It's only
in the image.
They said that about 20 minutes ago, so you're definitely slow.
I love it, baby. The fact of the matter is this: Crockett Cup. Nick Aldis almost walked away with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. I know what you're going to say, almost doesn't count, and you're absolutely right. Almost does not count. But there was still enough questionable content in that match to deserve a rematch. Whether or not that's going to end up being the main event of Always Ready, I'm hearing whispers and everything else. Matt's made comments, Nick's made comments. It feels like it's going in that direction. Trevor, obviously in line for a world title shot. He can do that at any point in time. A lot of people knocking on that door. But even if you don't like Nick Aldis, I'm going to give you the opposite side of this argument, which is this. If Matt Cardona can finally put Nick Aldis to rest, at least that way, Wil no longer has to hear about him running for the championship, if that's what happens. Or inversely, if Nick does win the NWA title again down the road, Matt has a shot at it then. So this story, this entire thing is not over. Nick represented this brand since its inception of this era of the National Wrestling Alliance. Matt is the current champion and possibly the future of the National Wrestling Alliance. You are having the tradition meet the possible future here. I think no matter what happens, we all win. Matt Cardona proves his worth as champion. Nick Aldis proves that he is the legacy. Whatever happens, happens. We're here for the ride. And then whoever is there after that to pick up the pieces, you said Tom Latimer. I got to be honest with you, I'm a big Tom Latimer fan. The man deserves a lot. And also has a history with Nick Aldis. So who knows where we can go with there. But Trevor Murdoch, either way, also has a shot. So guys, we are looking at a time and place where anybody could be champion at any time. I think we should just enjoy it for what it is. And that's opportunity.
Danny, any extra thoughts you want to add there?
Well, Kyle said put him to rest like he's Dracula or something. But no, I mean, I agree with William. Nick had a match, Crockett Cup, he lost. So you got to get back to the back of the line. He can't just walk around and be like, just because the lady of the lake threw him a sword out of the pond doesn't mean he can just call his own shots. You know what I mean? So
I feel like he's gone in the back of the line and he's working his way up. And I'll throw to Scott here in the chat saying if Cardona had won his only defense against Aldis by honest means, he might have an argument. And I think that's a lot of people's issue here. And maybe even President Corgan's issue is that ending to that match was far from controversial. That was a very disputed finish.
Yeah. And I mean, what are we going to do? Go back through history and audit it and find every controversial finish and then change history? No.
Tim Storm didn't always win clean either.
It's true.
Well, he might, but everybody else.
No, Tim got involved in that match. That's part of why it wasn't perfectly clean.
It's weird. That's Jaden Kenny having to mention.
So did Chelsea Green.
There. Yeah.
So did VSK. So did Mike Knox. So did everyone. That was a very contentious match. And at the end of the day, it ended with a ball shot. And unfortunately, Jeff was so distracted by his pain, he didn't know where that came from. But let's just hope that Jeff Jarrett's not special guest referee in whatever match does happen, because
Who are
he
you to
doesn't protect
question
himself
Jeff
enough
Jarrett?
to call it down the finish.
Yeah, really. Let me see
I'll
your
let you
let me see
question
your
out
referee
Andy, but not
credentials.
Jeff Jarrett.
Aside from the Crockett Cup finish.
Protect your testicles. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think we can all agree on that. But what I'm saying is,
Well,
and while I appreciate the narrative, Gary, that you're spinning here about Nick Aldis going to the back of the line and working his way up, I'm not taking anything away from the competitors he's beaten, but there's a lot of notable names not on that list that, as I said, I would put ahead of Nick Aldis right now in title contention, because he had a shot. If he were to get in the back of the line and you wanted to list a list of names that he's beaten to convince me that he deserves another title shot this soon,
who do you want at the front?
He needs to beat Jax Dane, who right now is technically the #1 contender as national champion. He needs to beat Tyrus, who's knocking on the door of the Lucky Seven as the television champion. He needs to beat Tom Latimer, that we just mentioned. And I know he's had a few matches with him, and that's been a little contentious as well. If you guys want to go there, Tom Latimer didn't quit. His wife-to-be quit for him in their last matchup. So I want to see him win clean, as you guys love so much, over Tom Latimer. So these are all names. Chris Adonis, come on. Like, these are people that I would put that have not had a world title shot. Sure.
Kyle Davis.
Sure. I would love to see Kyle Davis and Nick Aldis in a match. But that's my point. My point is, and again, no shade to anybody that Nick has beaten in the last couple of months, but to me, that doesn't automatically put you in title contention. I mean, I can go back and name, several people that several singles competitors have beaten. That doesn't make them automatically a world title contender. That's all I'm saying.
The only thing is like, if I honestly, genuinely felt like Cardona, if Jax Dane stepped up tomorrow, was like, I want you right here, right now, world's title shot, that Cardona wouldn't find some way to weasel out of that too, then, I might buy some of what you're spitting here, but I don't know. I feel like
what happens when you assume.
Yeah, well, I make an ass out of you and me. Well, I've always said you're an asshole. So it's,
you know who he needs to beat?
The man's 2 times my size. No.
You know who he needs to beat? And Kyle knows this guy. Ninja number 3.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about
the pre-show.
Kyle's
right.
no selling it.
I'm sure the world's champ will come up more during this episode. Let's talk about right after this, the Rude Dudes and the Fixers tag team action. That was a big match and an athletic match. Sam Adonis with a huge flip off those ropes, and he almost died himself.
That was almost
and then
it.
The Fixers caught him.
Number 3. Wow. That's an uphill battle right there.
Anyway, the Fixers with a big knee drop splash combo take the win, and I don't know. Are we looking at the Fixers? Are they in line for a tag team title shot? Do we think
they haven't beat the Ill Begotten yet, so they can't move ahead of us.
Okay, all right. So that's Danny's field. Do you think that? How do you think a Fixers versus La Rebellion match goes?
Oh man, I can't even begin to imagine that.
That just seems like a wild match. I don't know, just kind of crazy. But Fixers keep picking up wins, so they keep that up. They got to be in line for a #1 contendership spot at least at some point. Fixers rule, as every NWA post you can look. It's one of them is letting you know that. Yeah, I've seen Bradley doing it too. So.
Your wrecking ball literally on Billy Corgan's birthday. Everybody's like, happy birthday, and he just posted Fixers rule. He was very consistent. I mean, it means everything. It's one of those things where, like Groot, Fixers rule can be applied to almost anything. I am Groot means anything you need to in any context. Fixers rule, whether you have somebody who just had a great loss in their life, you can just whisper them gently. Fixers rule. If you had a celebration and you just won the big game, you can just scream out Fixers rule. If you find yourself being intimate with somebody, you just say, "Hey, Fixers rule." It works for everything.
Yeah, it's all in the tone.
Weird turn.
It's all in the tone, you know. It's like if you have a question.
Are you hungry?
That'll work.
Somebody who say Fixers rule.
Yeah, you'll hook up every time.
Fixers rule.
That. Hey, Fixers rule, bro.
Context.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well, Anyway, I don't know what you did to Sandoval, Danny, in the chat. He's saying, what's with La Rebellion ducking the IB boys? The British invasion gets a title shot. Well, it's the Commonwealth connection getting a title shot.
Whatever.
Everyone knows Ill Begotten deserves that shot.
Yes. Well, he's a wise man. Did you see the Santa fixed the poster for the pay-per-view? Made sure to include us on it. I don't know if you saw that. It's a wonderful
I did not
poster.
see that. Let's see. All right.
Out by the train tracks.
All right. Let's what's next? So right after that, hey, for the first time, and if you don't see enough of him on here, Kyle got to talk to the Pope. Pope hasn't been seen since that world's title match against Matt Cardona. And so everybody's been asking what's up with Pope, and the Pope responded.
Everybody's been asking since that moment went down, well, Pope, what's next? Pope, what are you going to do? Let me be frank about this thing, okay? Pope's past is not indicative of his future. You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely. We're going to have our ups. We're going to have our downs. We're going to have our highs, Daddy. We're going to have our lows. But the one thing Pope's going to do is what he's always done, Daddy, and that's keep on keeping on. Now then, what is next, Pope? Where do you go from here, Pope? Well, understand that if you are in this business, whether you're one of the boys or the girls in the back, your main goal is to get to the top of the National Wrestling Alliance. I want to be clear, Daddy, the view has not changed. The view has not changed. And before Pope allow his detractors, before Pope allow his enemies to win, Pope's going to get back up, Daddy, and I'm going to fight again.
I'm glad to hear that.
Kyle was glad to hear that. So glad. That's all he needed. He left. So, all right, Kyle, I guess we'll...
How come his mic worked during the clip?
You have to unmute yourself. So that's what he did.
No, I mean, like, I could hear brother during the clip. Like, it's supposed to be muted.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he must have unmuted it, I guess. I don't know.
He is a master of the ways of science. That's what happened.
That's what happens with what about Pope? Will, you think Pope back of the line? He's going to work his way up there too, right?
I mean, yeah, just like everybody else. I mean, I respect Pope. I was fired up. I wasn't as distracted as Kyle was by all his hand movements. That was my favorite part. Kyle just watching his hands like a puppy. Like, got super distracted. But that's Kyle for you. It is what it is. But no, I mean, all the respect in the world to Pope for cashing in his shot and going for it on power. And I respect him for keeping going. But yeah, there's an order to this. This isn't just a, hey, oh, you got a shot and you didn't like how the outcome went. Oh, let's do it again. No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, to his credit, I mean, he did just say he's just going to keep on keeping on. And so he's implying that he's ready to work, and this is not the last time you're going to see him in the main event. He knows that. And, but he's going to work to get back there. I'm sure we'll see Pope.
He's not demanding it. He's not demanding it right away though, because Pope knows how the business works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Pope didn't have a controversial finish where he was DQ'd for doing nothing. So there's that too.
Don't get hot.
I'm just saying. All right. Let's keep moving on then. And how about this Slam Challenge? Tyrus getting challenged by Mims, and didn't have a lot of faith in most people getting there. But if anybody could do it, it was big, strong Mims, right? And sure enough, bouncing Tyrus off the ropes and big slam, and Mims, presumably, well, we do know now, is up for a TV title shot because he slammed Tyrus. The Idol's disputing this always. And the guys from Idolmania tried to jump in there, and they got the best of Mims for a minute, but he ended up beating up the whole group, and now he wants Tyrus. And this is pretty incredible. Mims and Tyrus TV title now because of this. What are your thoughts, Danny?
Well, if you listened to the Dealz line, you would have known to put money on Mims. But Yeah, you used the ropes as to kind of help him. Used a little bit of the isometrics there, so I could see Idol having a dispute there. I don't know that you're allowed to use the ropes when you're doing stuff like that, but be that as it may, and I doubt that it ever was. He slammed him, and so apparently he gets the TV title shot. Which I might put money on Tyrus there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is at this point. The match is already official, so there's no point in splitting hairs about it. I think there's a point either way. I mean, using the ropes, I don't remember that being, covered in the rules, right or wrong. I would assume that he should have just slammed him from standing still, and might have gotten a little push there.
I thought that's what it was.
Right, but here's the thing. Tyrus, he's a professional, best-selling author. And he also knows the business, and he says, we're not gonna turn this into a thing. Let's give Mims the match, and it's a big match for Mims. At the end of the day, I'm with Dealz. I don't think I'm putting any money on Mims, even though he's made a name for himself and he's a respectable guy. But he's earned this shot, so to speak, and so he's gonna get it. It's still gonna be a big match, match we've never seen before, so it'll be interesting, but. I don't know how endangered Tyrus is to lose that title, but we'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, it's hard to bet against Tyrus right now, just being undefeated and seemingly has held that TV title for a long, long time. So it's I think the odds have to side with Tyrus in this one, but I wish Mims luck, because it would be cool to see him get a big victory after. From episode 1 of NWA Power to the TV title here, this would be quite the journey for Big Strong Mims. Love to see it. Like Polka Dot Pam says in the chat here, my heart is with Mims. That's how I feel. Always in my heart.
That heart punch comes in real.
Oh, that's a good one. He's clever. He's clever, that one. All right. Well, another big interview that happened, we talked about people staking their claim or making declarations and that sort of thing. Well, we had 2 of them for 2 titles here in the next segment when Matt Taven and Genocide were interviewed by Mae Valentine.
Guys, I was told that both of you have breaking news you'd like to share with me. What's that all about? Okay.
Me first. Well, it turns out that I went to Billy Corgan. I told Billy, I said, Billy, I want to do what I've done everywhere around the world. I want to succeed just like I've done in my career time after time again. I want all 10 pounds of the NWA title. And he told me, hey, that can start right here next week. Judas, Matt Taven, a guy I don't know well, big guy, scary guy, but that doesn't matter to me because he is I, and I am him, and I'm Matt Taven.
Okay. Genocide?
And I as well went to the NWA and I asked for something real. And next week you will see yours truly versus Kylan King and Chelsea Green. And you know what? This match is going to be tough. It's going to be grueling, but it's going to be for the #1 contenders match. And Genocide is ready.
So you got 2 declarations for world championships there. Matt Taven stepping into the fray saying he wants that 10 pounds of gold. I even saw him on social media the other day saying, mark it down now, I will be the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. And then Genocide entering presumably a triple threat this week on Power to get her spot to take on Camille for the Women's World Champion. By the way, I think Genocide still has a shot tucked in her back pocket anyway, but that's another story.
I don't think so. She used it for the tag. Yep.
You're right. She used it for the tag titles. Okay, so she's got to work for it, and she's going to do just that. But anyway, I mean,
exactly. Chelsea Green, though, I don't think, no.
Yeah,
no.
That's a tough spot to be in. Listen, I love Genocide as much as the next guy. Maybe not as much as some people we know, Gary. But I will say that that's a pretty tough matchup there. I mean, I could see it going any way. I mean, it's not very often you see a triple threat like that, especially for a #1 contenders match, that there's not kind of a slight edge or a slight favorite. It could go any way. Obviously, my heart is with Chelsea Green, and I would like to see her have another shot at that. But I mean, that it's it's whoever wins this match. I can say this definitively: whoever wins this match deserves a title shot, and that's how it should be. And same thing with Matt Taven. You know, if he wants to get a shot at the title, you notice Billy Corgan, when Matt Taven went to Billy Corgan, he didn't just say, "Oh, okay, you can have the main event at Always Ready." That's not how it works. He says, "Hey, you can start with Judas, who's another name on that list that has never had a title shot, that has been around for a long time and is a big, strong dude and could totally get a title shot if you worked for it." So I think that's the way to go about it. So I think these are two great announcements, two great competitors that are doing it the right way. They're not just walking around. You use the word declare. They're declaring that they want something, but really they're declaring that they're willing to work for it. And I respect that.
Does your butt ever get jealous of the crap that comes out of your mouth? I'm just curious
Yes.
because you're saying all of this stuff, but you're talking about Chelsea Green, right? In the same breath as you're saying all this stuff about Nick Aldis, so you get screwed over at a main event. And then Chelsea Green, who has literally had 2 title shots prior to this, lost both, one at the last pay-per-view, has not won a match since. It gets put right back in a number 1 contender spot.
Yes.
And you think that there's favoritism against the Cardonas.
Chelsea Green is one of the top performers in the whole world, so that's a little different. And hey, Kyle,
Kyle's on the
move,
move.
old Knight Rider. Hey, now wait, now that Kyle is back,
I am trying to get to the top of the hill in my hometown and hoping that there is a better service up there.
Well, you can't.
My mother kept on going, "I don't understand why you need high definition video. Phone calls work." And I'm like, I need to go.
Well, you can't say he's not dedicated.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. See, Kyle has got the new shirt. Deal Machine has got the inverted. Will, of course, has got the Always Ready. Gary, what's the heat, man? You got heat with my designs? You don't have any new gear?
No, I just rep some of the.
Loves the nation of domination by any means necessary.
I tried to get Wolfie to write the Ill Begotten song over the weekend.
G13.
Yeah,
I tried to get Wolfie to write the Ill Begotten song over the weekend. He got hot at me because I only knew 2 lines from his rap: "Bum Rush Your Mother" and whatever the other one was.
Interesting.
He got mad.
All right.
Hey,
moving on.
Kyle Davis is brought to you by Walmart in Torrington, Connecticut. It's the highest point in the city, if you can call it a city, and that's where I'm going so I can hear you and do my job. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, Connecticut. You got Wawa up there, no?
No, there's no Connecticut Wawas up here. No. They got 7-Elevens. They don't even have sheets. They don't got nothing. Connecticut, I'm sorry, but I grew up here, but I left for a reason.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Caps in the chat saying,
I left there for a reason too.
Cap saying, "Please don't NWA and drive." Oh, Kyle, don't. If you get in a nasty wreck, cut the video. We don't want this video taken down.
Well, it'll go viral then, though.
I'm parked now. Look at that. Look at that
Oh, he's
sunset.
parked.
Light in my face, ever so nice. I hope I get a tan here. It's not Florida. It is 48 degrees this morning. Guys, why is it 48 degrees anywhere in the United States in May? It doesn't make
80
sense.
degrees in Nashville. That's why I left for
Exactly.
Cleveland. Because Cleveland right now would be like 20.
In Florida when I left.
Kyle, you're not interviewing with a rival promotion, are you?
I'm not. That was before, and I decided not to. So I'm here. I'm NWA for life. There we go.
Okay. That makes sense. Guys, what about the main event on Power, though, by the way? Kenzie Page and Mickie James, that was an awesome matchup. If you haven't seen that, go out of your way to catch it because those two went at it. Kenzie, Mickie giving her the time of day anytime she needs it, but just not quite ready to take on a legend like Mickie James yet, or not ready to get the win, although it was close. And I'm sure Kenzie is learning every single time she steps in the ring and just getting better and better every time you watch her.
No, you're absolutely right. She's come a long way. She is the future of the entire industry. And to see the future meet the legacy that match was, it's really just a taste of what the future is. Because, in like 10 years, somebody's going to be wrestling Kenzie Page in the exact same spot that Mickie James was, and people are going to be like, oh, does this young and up-and-comer have the chance to actually beat Kenzie Page? You are looking at what one day will be the future. It's nice to see that just happening in real time.
I love that. I love that. We're big fans of Kinsey Page over here, I think. And Bobby in the chat wants to see her versus Angelina Love. We haven't seen that yet, but Kinsey had a heck of a week because on NWA USA on May 7th, the show opened with, the opening match was Kinsey versus the Crush, Natalia Markova. And that was a huge match. And Kinsey showed a lot of fight in that one. Markova's been on a tear, but couldn't keep her down. Finally, after a bunch of rolling around and like roll-ups, Kinsey, I think, thought she had her arm under the rope. Referee Scott says no. It's a 1, 2, 3. Markova.
Shocking. A Medusa hired referee.
Surprise.
And there's a
As
screwed
soon
up
as you
finish.
said the word referee, it's like his trigger word. As soon as you said
On
it,
USA,
he just started salivating. He was ready to
on
go.
USA, by the way, new inverted shirt. It's already moving. On USA, who hired that brother? Medusa. Okay, that's it.
Kenzie Page, everybody, we've seen her constantly and everything. I'm going to tell you a little thing that I feel in life. You don't learn from success. You learn from shortcomings and failures. And the more experiences you have, the better you are and more suited are for whatever comes up. Kenzie Page is putting in the work. She's all over the place. She's putting in the effort and everything. I'm telling you, all of these times you see Kenzie coming up a little bit short, eventually will lead to Kenzie dominating the women's division.
You sound like your Uncle Pierce all of a sudden.
Hey, what can I say? We all have our mentors. Him and Pat Kenny are two mentors for me. So I'm going to tell you things like that, and also I'm going to say, hey, it's not rocket science.
There you go.
It's not.
Love.
Will, what do you
Throw
think?
your hands in the air.
What do you think? Will, with that fine T-shirt you got on, did you got the shot?
Yes. Let me back up so you can get the full
Very
effect.
nice shirt. I'm not going to lie.
It really is. I like the colors. It matches my background here. But no,
Hey,
Kinsey
referee
Page,
James Lawrence just joined. Ref, stay out of the chat because you're a trigger for Danny Dealz, we've learned.
Yeah, Medusa didn't hire him, so it's okay.
Anyway, go ahead, Will. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree for the most part with Kyle and his assessment of Kinsey Page. I think her talent is the potential there is limitless in professional wrestling, and super excited that she's in the NWA and that we're seeing matches like this. I'm just ready for her to have that statement victory. You know what I mean? I feel like we used to have this conversation about Mims, and now look at him. He's getting a TV title shot. So it's only a matter of time before the conversation shifts, but I'm just looking for her to get that big win. She's had a couple of title shots against Camille already. She's been in some tag team matches. She's had some matches with Natalia Markova. At some point there just needs to be that one where she comes out on top that we all go, that's it. Now it's all downhill from here, or uphill from here, for her career. And so that's kind of what I'm holding my breath waiting on. I think it's definitely going to happen. I didn't think it would happen against Mickie James or Natalia Markova, so I don't know who that's going to be, but I think we're going to see it really soon.
I mean, pretty empowered. I don't know if you've been following the socials on there or not, but the NWA social media pages today just had a drop on there about a match coming up June 11th at Always Ready. That could be the opportunity. Kenzie Page, Ella Envy, pretty empowered, going for the NWA World Women's Tag Team Championships. I mean, anything could happen. That could be history in the making right there, and exactly what you just brought up. That could be the moment of elevation.
In the chat, Newman Co. asking, how can Kinsey go from main event against Mickie James to going back to facing Natalia Markova? I admire Mickie James and Natalia Markova for putting Kinsey in a great match. I would just say to that, I don't think it's going back.
The top contender.
Yeah, I was saying Markova is the top contender. A lot of people you'll see in the chat are asking for Markova to get a shot at the Burke. So it's not going back, I don't think, to face Markova. No. And another thing you may not know about Kinsey is, I could say at Power Trip, the first Power Trip, I don't even think she was originally booked on that show, and she just shows up where she needs to be. Showed up. Yeah, and then she gets on the show. Like, Kinsey takes any and all challenges. Anytime there's a matchup where there's an opponent needed, you'll see Kinsey Page step up to take it. Doesn't always go her way, but that's a chick who is working her tail off to.
Yeah, she's a red ass. Yeah, she's a red ass. She'll fight anybody.
Yeah, think about the two or three opponents that we mentioned in this conversation. Mickie James, who's a legend, and yeah, that was a great opportunity. Camille is the one-time undefeated since she's won the Burke, dominant, and then you've got Natalia Markova, who is a beast. She is they don't call her the Crush for no reason. She is red hot. She's fire. I mean, so like we're talking about, you know, these quality opponents that she's never backed down from. I mean, I feel like somebody her age at this state in their career would be perfectly justified to be like, I don't really want to go against Camille, right? Because she's scary, but she's never backed down. She's fought Camille several times, and Markova and Mickie James. So, you know, the thing I admire the most about Kenzie,
she's 20.
is that she doesn't turn down anything. She takes, like you said, Gary, she takes every opportunity. And because of that, she's been getting these huge opportunities. So when that statement win happens, it's going to be a big deal, and it's going to get the ball rolling, and we will be talking about her a lot more.
But it didn't happen against Chelsea Green. There's a match she won, Gary. You're talking about she hasn't won nothing.
Oh, I was just saying it doesn't always go her way. It was a tough week for her. She didn't win any matches. But, yeah, for sure, Kenzie has won. Speaking of women's division action, though, I mean, one good thing to talk about is May on USA actually spoke with Camille along with Tom Latimer about the fact that Camille's been going around kind of seemingly thinking that there are no challenges left for her, and May letting her know, in her opinion, there are challenges. And, well, you'll see.
In your opinion, May? Well, I don't really care about your opinion, and I don't really care about the fans' opinion either. I mean, Billy Corgan, he's tried to think of anybody that can possibly take this thing off me, and guess what? No one can. And I believe that he's realizing that. I believe that the fans, they do realize that. And May, I think that you realize that no one can beat the one-time champ.
Okay. And Tom, you actually shocked the world last week when you announced that you're going to be chasing after the national championship.
I told him a long time ago, look, he is the one for this. He's the one that needs to be shot up to the top, baby. Now we are focused. Now we have a game plan. And once you're the national champion, it's only a matter of time before you're the world's heavyweight champion.
Camille looks like she stepped out of the Road Warrior with that hairdo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's an old movie.
Helping, you know, relationships are a two-way street, and to have a partner that wants you to be the best you can be, that's something you strive for. The power couple right there, both have each other's best intentions. They both want the best for each other. I feel like that's an unstoppable duo right there. And look at her, trying to make sure her man's just as successful as she is. Love it.
A lot of people are saying online and stuff, though, that there may be something to Camille kind of controlling Tom Latimer now and him not getting much of a say in anything that happens. Nobody's buying that. I'm just saying, I just saw people are saying.
Tom knows a good thing when he sees it, and he realizes that sometimes he doesn't have all the answers, and she fills in those blanks. She fills in the answers when he doesn't have them.
Look, media in the chat right now. See Tom's body language. You think Tom's going to get fed up of Camille talking for him?
Gary, you got to stop reading the Weekly World News.
Yeah, this is just
Bat Boy, Danny. I'm waiting for Bat Boy's debut in the NWA.
This is just like classic wrestling fans. We spent 2 seasons of Power begging for Camille to speak, right? And now that she's speaking, she should speak. Come on. This is speaking out of both sides of your mouth here. She's talking. She's the champ. She's talking for her husband. Tom's not a big talker. I've talked to Tom. He's a man of few words. He does his talking in the ring usually. And so, you know, I'm sure he welcomes the opportunity for his bride to speak for him. Yeah.
I love hearing Tom speak. He's just angelic.
Yeah.
All right. Newman thinks that Noni agrees. It's always nice to let your partner speak. And Newman saying, I think Natalia Markova is definitely going to take the Burke from Camille because she's still got some unfinished business with the Brick House. A lot of people online, here, everywhere, want to see Natalia Markova and Camille for the Burke. So maybe that's coming down the line. But Camille's gonna have another number one contender here pretty soon. But anyway. All right. Well, the next thing was you saw Kerry Morton talking about being worried for his dad because he's going to take on a big, however big wrecking ball Ligursky is, 400 pounds or something. And
Ricky Crazy.
Not in the junior heavyweight division. Definitely not in the junior heavyweight
division. Yeah, not in that conversation.
Colby Corino instigated this, by the way. I mean, that's the big thing to take away on this part. I think Colby building some rivalries in the NWA for sure. He's got something with Kerry Morton here. Kerry wants a shot at him. And,
see, that's just being smart. If you're building rivalries, if you're constantly somebody who can't be ignored, that means no matter who's ever in title contention, if you're annoying them enough, you're always going to be in that title picture.
Well, look at him now. I mean, he's got this thing with Kerry Morton. He's obviously been talking smack about Homicide. He's had a long-standing thing with like PJ Hawks, for instance. Him and PJ have had some amazing matches like those. I mean, Colby's all over the junior heavyweight division. I don't think he's got many friends.
You're right. He's punchable is the way I like to describe him. But at the end of the day, he's not forgettable. It's one of those sacrifices you make. In the NWA, if you are not putting yourself front and center, you are not going to get the opportunities that maybe you think you deserve. You were crapping on Nick Aldis before, but Nick Aldis knows how to put himself front and center. Colby Corino also knows how to put himself front and center. That man, future champion.
Love to see it. But before we get to Colby becoming a future champion, I mean, at least the junior heavyweight champion, Black G's stepping up in a promo with, who would he be talking to? Oh, yeah, Kyle Davis.
That's right, Kyle Davis. Long and storied history with Homicide. There was a time where I idolized this man. There was a time where this man mentored me. I learned a lot from him. But in the back of my mind, I always wondered, can I beat Homicide, and what would I do to make that happen?
No, you can't. You can't beat
Homicide, I know your strengths, and I know your weaknesses. Homicide, I appreciate you, and I respect everything that you've done. But, bruh, your time is ticking, and my time is now.
Are you challenging Homicide?
Kyle Davis, Nashville, NWA, it's time for a new World Junior Heavyweight Champion, and his name is the definition of fly, the church's money, Black G's.
So there it is. Big challenge for Black G's. Yeah, a lot of confidence, apparently a lot of history. And I tell you what, fighting champions-wise, Homicide's been all over the place defending this NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. I mean, say what you will, Black G's might have picked the perfect time to make a challenge, because if Homicide gets in there with him on that shot, I mean, God, you got to think he's been through some wars already. Does he have what it takes to overcome Black G's too?
It's a law of averages. The more you put yourself out there, the more you defend a championship, the more likely that one of those times you're going to come up short. And who knows if this time it's going to be Black G's. Black G's and Homicide have a history. They've had friendships. They know each other better than most men ever will. I mean, if there was ever an opportunity to strike right now, it is for Black G's. And I got to tell you something, that man has come a long way. Church's money, preach. You know what else that money can buy? Sometimes championships. So we're going to see if he's going to become the new junior heavyweight champion.
You would know about that in the Northeast, the Patriots buying championships. That's true, though. Yeah, Black G's, he's he's a fine athletic specimen, and he talks very well. And I would probably put some money on G's, even though Homicide's crazy.
Also, because of their friendship, maybe Homicide isn't as likely to, destroy.
I don't know. Yeah. No, Homicide
doesn't. I disagree with you there. I don't. I don't think friendship has anything to do with it.
Sometimes, like people say, pull punches. Maybe he'll pull his sport. Maybe he won't.
I don't think he's got that in him.
Yeah, it's like Homicide's like, if you have a pet tiger or something,
He's got two speeds, crazy and stop.
Are you saying he's snuggly, but he may just rip your throat out at some point?
Yes.
No, it's just like, a tiger at any point, no matter how friendly they seem. Like, I've been fortunate enough to be backstage for some NWA events, and Homicide, I've had conversations with him, and we actually rode to Oak Grove together on the shuttle, and had, he was telling all kinds of stories. It was a great time. Never at any point do I feel like I'm buddy enough with Homicide to just like go up and give him like a little punch in the shoulder or anything, because I feel like he'll tear my face off. And I think
I'll give you $5 to do that, though. Just to see. I mean, it's a friendship test.
if you ever want to see like a really subtle thing, approach Homicide from the side, from like his blind spot where he doesn't quite see you, and just appear next to him and just see him kind of be like he immediately will do like this little thing, like he knows that at any moment he might have to hurt you. It's a very interesting thing, and it's just approach with caution. Don't surprise him. Just be like, "Hey, Homicide," from afar.
Yeah, announce your presence. Yes.
Yes.
Good evening. Right.
And that's just Homicide.
Hello,
That's
sir.
instinct. It's built into him. I always remember like a Chris Rock bit where he talked about the Siegfried and Roy, where the tiger attacked Siegfried. He was like, everybody's like, "Oh my God, the tiger went crazy. He's nuts. Like that tiger was wild, blah, blah, blah." And Chris Rock was like, "That tiger didn't go crazy. The tiger went tiger." Like, that's just what a tiger does. He was crazy when he was riding around on a tricycle with the top hat on. That's when he was crazy.
I agree with you. Homicide goes Homicide. I mean, let's face it, it's in his name. It's not like he was like, what am I going to get when I break into the wrestling business? Should I call myself something snazzy? Should I do this? No, I'm going to go with something that's a synonymous: murder, homicide. That's it. This man chose that name. He wasn't given it at birth. So let's face it, at the end of the day.
Are you sure about that?
We don't know that.
I actually have seen his license, and it does not say Homicide on it.
Speaking of Ben, I'm not
probably
gonna.
some red tape there.
It sounds better than Snuggles, right? Sounds better than Snuggles.
I will never, and I will ask you to
That's
never.
his middle name.
Nobody ever tell Homicide that I said he was snuggly, like Kyle just did. That's not
I
something
just
I
said maybe
said.
it's his middle name.
Retract this text.
Yeah. Speaking of people I'll never walk around in the backstage and give an old nipple flick to or anything, is we got to talk to.
Can I get on that list? Jeez.
Well, maybe if you look like our national champion,
What is that?
like if you just walk up and just flick them. Like,
Who are you doing that to?
well, that's
Yeah,
just-
there's
just like-
nobody I
else
would do
does
that to.
Just me? Just me? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm saying is Jax Dane is a badass, and he had his 60-second moment on USA this week.
Who is Jax Dane? Well, let's start with the current NWA National Champion. And then let's just throw in there, we might as well, the former World Champion, the former World Tag Team Champion, the former North American Champion, the King of Bakewell, Tennessee. I could go on for days, but we don't have time. We have 60 seconds. Fast cars, hot chicks, protein shakes, push-ups, easy weights. That's Jax Dane, a winner, a champion. Everything you wish your husband was, baby. That's who Jax Dane is. That's who Jax Dane will always be. Forever, today, tomorrow, the NWA is now the Dane event. The Dane event of the evening.
The Dane
He may
event.
never lose the title.
Yeah.
He
well,
may
until
not.
he
Unless he-
gets a world title shot, and then he'd have to vacate it. But
Would you
No,
though?
maybe.
I'd want to have two belts.
Anyway,
Danny,
Jax Dane
I will
not
not-
getting the-
I just watched somebody put their groceries on the hood of their car, turn around to unlock their car. The groceries fell off the car, flipped over, and then I watched them use multiple keys to try to figure out which one opened up their car door as the groceries were moving on the ground. This person's struggling. Man, let me tell you. You know who's not struggling? Jax Dane. He is a champion. He would never do that. He knows what key opens up his car door. He has it all together. He doesn't drop his
he would
groceries.
just
Dane,
pop the trunk.
He would
That's
pop the
true.
trunk. You
He could
beat
pop
me
the
to it.
trunk.
I was getting there.
You should
Also-
go help those
Sorry,
people.
sorry.
Kyle, Pope could do it.
no nipple flicks for Jax Dane. Yeah.
Put that
let's
on a
see here.
t-shirt.
So in the chat, not a lot of people loving Jax Dane. Fee's loving the 60-second promos, but Polka Dot Pam says 60 seconds of Jax Dane is 60 seconds too many. I think that has to do with Polka Dot Pam. One of her favorite wrestlers is Chris Adonis, and they're going to be interacting soon. So I would guess that that's got something to do with it. Noni pointing out that Kyle's blatantly acknowledging he didn't help when he could have.
You tell him,
Well,
Noni. Tell him.
Let's be fair. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Go find her key?
I
for
love
her?
this.
He doesn't know.
Kyle Davis, good announcer,
Not a good
not a good Samaritan.
I'm gonna
come
and approach this stranger. She's gonna think I'm gonna try to do something horrible to her.
The Pope would have done it.
Look at him.
Pope would have been like, "Daddy, let me help you with your keys." Whereas me, if I go up, she's gonna be like, "What do you want? What are you doing? I don't want that." And then
Not
next
if
thing
you
know,
say,
I
"Do
look
you
like
need
I'm
some
trying
help?"
to- No.
You can't creep up on her like you're, Stu and Ghostface or something. You know what I mean? You got to be nice and say, "Do you need some help?"
Jax Dane would have Kyle Davis loading those groceries purely from intimidation. Says
Eric's correct.
I would load Jax Dane's groceries for him just out of the kindness of my heart and fear. That man, if he ever needs it, I'm there for him.
Oh, all right. Well, then you got to the big match on USA, and then we'll get to some news. The big match, the main event, Ricky Morton versus Wrecking Ball Gursky. A great match. Again, if you're not watching NWA USA, get on it because it's full of great matches. I say full. Usually there's like 2 or 3 matches.
And
They're
it's
all
run by a fool.
Solid. Well, fair enough.
Medusa.
Well done.
I'm not gonna speak on that. But
the NWA USA Danny Dealz blood feud continues.
It does. I got a feeling, Danny, that you are gonna push the Medusa button one too many times at some point.
Oh, jeez. Get her out of here. I ain't worried about her. I don't sweat her.
Hey, he's got people on a speed dial. I know for a fact that Dealz has people on speed dial just in case he ever needs them to take care of Medusa Mission.
That's right.
Sure.
Maddie says hi, Kyle. He's back there.
I'm sure Medusa cares. Medusa looks like she suffers no one. So I'm just saying. Anyway.
Former cruiserweight champion, my foot. How about that?
Well, you're not a former.
I even kept it clean for you, Gary.
Danny Dealz
Even kept
and
it
a car
clean.
crushed in a parking lot that looks like it was driven over by a monster truck. We're going to know exactly who did it.
Joss AOP. Hi from Germany. Hi. Welcome from Germany. Thanks for being here.
Say it like that. Like you were saying hi. Hi.
It's not, you can't just say it with a German accent. That's
I
not
have
a different language.
I didn't say it with a German accent. I was just excited. That was an excited hi. That's what I sound like when I'm excited. I panic.
That's what he sounds like when he gets his
He
nipple
starts straight
flipped.
up leader hoses. It's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Ricky Morton, unfortunately, Kerry has to come out for assistance. He gets worried about his dad, but this brings out
For
Bradley.
assistance.
And anyway, still not enough. Wrecking Ball hits a huge power slam on Kerry Morton or Ricky Morton and gets the 1, 2, 3. And Wrecking Ball taking down a legend. So a huge win for Wrecking Ball Gursky and another bullet in the ammo for Colby Carino against the Mortons in his continuing feud with them. So just an interesting match all the way around.
Feather in the cap.
Feather in the cap.
Bullet in the
Bullet
ammo.
in the ammo. You know what I meant. Listen, we're not all like 50-year pros at being wrestlers, okay? I'm working on this. I'm trying to get better at this. This is my first gig.
Bullet and ammo is the same thing. I'm trying to help you out, Garrison.
I appreciate you, Danny. I do.
We got to get you some new swag. Then you'll be a new man. You'll
That's
come
true.
on here, and June 11th, Zabada. You'll be all over the place.
I might have to break out in that new. You still got some of those NWA USA hoodies? Because I might have to break one of those.
A few,
baby blue.
Not too many. Yeah, that thing's hot.
Yeah,
It was so cool.
Gary,
People are buying it, and it's about to be warm, except for where Kyle is.
I don't know if I can process Gary in a light blue hoodie.
I don't
so
either.
We'll see. I think it might look nice though. I was the same way last week with my yellow. I had my yellow throwback video game shirt, and I was a little because I was like, it's not black, but as soon as I put it on, I felt powerful. I was like, I
lit
can
up
do
the room.
this. But then my black MCWA shirt came in, and
That's
now this is all I'm wearing.
a life
But
change right there.
whenever this one's dirty, I will throw on the other one.
Yeah.
Let's go to
Gary,
the
Gary,
chat.
do you want
Chat,
one of them
what do you
Cardona
think
shirts?
will really accentuate Gary's features color-wise? What do you think's going to bring out that beard color? The
I
eye
think
color
that
and everything?
Cardona
What do you want to
shirt.
see Gary wearing next week? Next week, let's dress Gary. Let's be like a little, fashionistas for him.
I think the Cardona shirt would work good for Gary.
We'll do a
that
little
works for
straight
everybody.
guy for the Gare guy. That's it. Yeah, straight eye for the Gare guy.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I'm not opposed to the Cardona shirt. I do think it looks pretty sweet, I have to admit. But anyway.
I just looked at the chat and somebody said, "Where's Gags?" And I'm just going to pretend that they're talking about you and they want to see you dressed up in leather next week.
I'll ask him, but I'm pretty sure that costume's not going to fit, and I'm not going to
Well,
get
yeah,
it
you
custom
gotta-
made.
You got to.
Well, I
you
think
gotta
it
deal with
stretches.
We'll just ease you right in there.
Yeah. Then you'd have to call
Jax-
up old Count Chocula, James Mitchell.
You just gotta baby oil and then you stretch it. It's really. I'll show you.
Yeah.
We don't always get to do this, but good night, Fee. Fee's over in Scotland. It's 1 a.m. there. She's saying good night. She has to bail on us. We appreciate you, Fee. And
My
Fee's
23andMe says I'm Scottish, so good choice.
Oh,
I'm
Fee, she's a
definitely
great Twitter
choice.
follow. You get to see her legs every day.
Devin says I need to wear my beanie and a Trevor Murdoch shirt. I can do that. I 100% have all of that stuff. So that is perfect.
That guy's not a Cardona fan.
Guys, let's talk about some other news, and then we'll I guess actually let's talk about Always Ready first, because that's a big thing that's happening. Always Ready coming up on June 11th. NWATix.com tickets are still available. Floor seating is almost gone, so you need to get there if you're going to go to Knoxville and see this thing. But don't miss out. NWATix.com is where you get those tickets. It's a huge event. We've already got some great matchups announced, so we'll talk about those here in one sec. But before we do, don't forget NWATix.com. You can get tickets for what we're calling Knocks Out NWA Power Tapings the next night out of the Knoxville Convention Center. So that's going to be huge. That's going to be cool. But listen, we don't know everything yet about what's going to go on at Always Ready. In fact, we don't even know what the World's Heavyweight Championship match is, but we do know.
I just heard from the grapevine that apparently William Patrick Corgan is supposed to have an announcement in the next several days about that. So
Perfect.
be ready.
I think he should just show up and do a meet and greet, because there's really, there's not really a challenger.
Yeah, it's his event. Why should he have to fight?
I mean, yeah. Hey, can we run through the matches, Gary? You tell us.
That's what I was about to do, but I was letting Kyle
Right.
get his special breaking news that you only get here on the live stream. I was letting him get that out. Well, here's one. This was announced today. How about this? World Women's Tag Team Championship match. The Hex are back, and they're defending those titles against Pretty Empowered. We've done a lot of talking about Kenzie Page today. And let's not forget about Ella Envy, her partner. And these two have a chance to win the World's Women's Tag Team Championship. That's a huge match right there. And it may be the big win that we've been talking about that could make Kenzie Page trajectory just skyrocket. So how you guys feeling about that one?
Yeah, I mean, what you said about Kenzie, I mean, that's top of mind for me. But at the same time, you say the Hex are back, and I know you didn't mean it this way, but for those that maybe just watch NWA programming, just because they haven't been on the show doesn't mean they haven't been defending those titles literally all across the world. And if you follow them on social media, which I'd recommend, you'll see that. But these guys are fighting champions, and they're not coming in cold, so to speak. So
no ring rust. We're not talking about
right.
I don't want to sound like I'm dissing the Hex. I'm definitely
not. No. And I knew you didn't mean it that way. I was just filling in for the people that maybe interpreted it that way. So it's definitely going to be a tough challenge for Ella Envy and Kenzie Page, but I would not be shocked if this is that statement victory. If they come in and they're firing together on all cylinders as a team, as one tag team unit, this could be a great match. So this is one, there's been a lot of great matches announced, and I'm sure a lot of more great matches announced, but this is definitely one that has piqued my interest.
Yeah,
I always like to think about it this way. You never know what match is going to be the start of somebody's legacy. And this could be the start of their legacy. You look back and there's names that we all know and love today, but everybody got their start somewhere. And there was always a thing where maybe they were the underdog in a match. And then when they finally overcame, people started going, I guess they're the real deal. You always have to remember, any match could be that match for anybody. This could be Pretty Empowered's chance to shine.
Yeah, maybe, but is Kenzie's partner?
That's what I said. As you hit a nice pose there.
Yeah, maybe, or you're dumb.
Yeah. Well, no, all I'm saying, it's almost doing the suicidal gimmick. All I'm saying is that is Kenzie's partner at her level like she is. And the Hex do defend the titles all over the place. And I feel like this is like the third company I've worked with AK in. And she's always strapped up. like whether it's singles, tag, whatever. You know, I'm just saying, I don't know. Might have to go. The favorites, definitely. I'll work out the betting lines with my cousin Frankie, but I do think that the Hex have to be the favorites.
I don't think, yeah. I mean, I say this a ton, but you don't make money betting against the Hex. The Hex have, again, I was never dissing them. They were on NWA television regularly for a while. They're defending the titles, and then they went on a world tour defending the titles. They've been out there defending the titles. If you keep up with their social media, and you should, these ladies have been taking these titles all over the place. I don't doubt them for a second. I love the idea of Ella and Kenzie getting an opportunity here, but man, I don't know. That's a tough hill to climb.
I think Kenzie's up to it, but I don't know if her partner is. That's all I'm saying.
That's interesting. She's new to the NWA, so we don't know a lot about Ella yet, but we're going to find out. We're going to see what she's made of at Always Ready. Another big matchup. You want to talk about tag team titles? Well, let's keep going. Let's talk about the men's tag team titles. This match got announced, and this is one I am super excited for. I know Will is. La Rebellion taking on the Commonwealth Connection. These two teams have already battled once at the Crockett Cup. Commonwealth Connection eliminating La Rebellion from the Crockett Cup. That was a huge win because La Rebellion have never lost, not since coming to the NWA, not in tag team action. These two came in and they've won every single match all the way up to winning the world's tag team titles and have continued on in just a dominant fashion. And then they met the Commonwealth Connection in the Cup, and they took the 1, 2, 3. Can lightning strike twice? And will we see new tag team champions?
Jesus.
You know, it's possible lightning does strike twice. Do you know that it's more likely for lightning to hit the same spot than it is to hit something else? That whole saying's always wrong. So once you're in a place and you got hit by lightning, get the hell out of there because it can happen again. That's what I'm trying to say. La Rebellion going against Commonwealth Connection. History could repeat itself, and you could be there to see it happen live and in person, June 11th. At Always Ready. Tickets at NWATix.com.
Well, let me tell you, number one, Harry Smith should still be deported, but this one for La Rebellion, this one is
for a guy whose family is entirely immigrants and who very much, has like
but they all got their papers.
You're always trying.
My family all has their papers.
Why is
well, he's more familiar with the process.
Yeah, they have their papers. He shouldn't even be here. Anyway, listen, this one will be dangerous though because Dougie and Harold are from England. Yeah. Now, where is Peter Cushing and Hammer Horror from? Well, it's from England. So they might know about the silver and the garlic and all that. So La Rebellion might be in trouble.
Yeah, they got that Hammer Horror background. I don't know. I don't know what Harry Smith watches in his off time, so I'm not sure.
Doug knows. Dougie Fresh knows.
He's an OG. Doug seems like a real Van Helsing. He seems ready to go. I can see that.
What I'm saying? He's
I
ready
like
to
this.
come in and talk about some good evening.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. This is good.
All right.
All right.
I just like the idea of the Commonwealth Connection. They like just moonlight as people that take myths out. They're just in the countryside searching for things. Like Doug gives something a chaos theory, while Harry just runs by and stabs it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Got to find the old gypsy in the woods. She'll tell you how to defeat the werewolves.
I like this. Maybe you should follow them around with a camera, Kyle. Use some of that NWA money. Go over there and film Doug going through the woods. Get us some segments of Doug Williams searching for the gypsy in the woods.
I can only imagine if Torrington, Connecticut doesn't have good cell service, I can only imagine how bad it's going to be in the countryside as I'm searching for myths. So I'm going to take a hard pass on that. I like having streaming and things like that. I'm really not happy having to be in this weird outland that I'm in right now in a car that's not even mine, chilling. Guys, I don't want to go in the countryside.
You're literally chilling. It's 20 degrees where you're at.
We're in the 50s right now as the sun sets. Why? It's 90 where I live. Why is it 50 something here?
80 in Nashville today. It was awesome.
So yeah, nowhere else is like Florida. Caps to circle back. He asked how long the Hex have held the titles. Actually looked at this today. No? It's just over 250 days. Yeah. So they're just over. It was in Power where they won them against Kylan King and Red Velvet. So in that final match there. All right. Next up on the list, you got a big TV title match. Mims, after winning the Slam Challenge, has been granted a title shot against Tyrus. Now, I've heard Tyrus walking around acting like this is his 7th defense. I say it's his 6th. But anyway.
What is it officially, Kyle Davis?
I hear that train coming, and I hope it has the answer because I don't.
I can tell you right now,
I think purposely this is what happened. Tyrus and Idol have muddied the everything about it. They've had defenses. Idol throws out numbers and stuff. At this point, having to deal with those two just throwing information at me constantly when they're at the podium, I don't even know what to believe anymore. They have successfully gotten me to the point where I don't even know what's real and what's not when they say it. So congrats, guys. Fake news. I appreciate it.
I remember Clearwater, G's, Jaden Roller, Scion, and Rodney Mack at the last pay-per-view. That's 5. So now Tyrus says he defended over in China. So I don't know how to verify this, but anyway, there you go.
Did he not defend against Pope, or did you say Pope?
No, Pope is who he won the title from.
But then didn't they have a rematch and he defeated him again?
I don't think they rematched.
Well, if he says 7, I'm not going to argue with him.
All right. Well, anyway, anybody have any opinion on if Mims is going to take him down, though? Will that be the end of Tyrus?
I think that would be a great opportunity for Mims. It won't be the end of Tyrus. Tyrus can win or lose and keep on being Tyrus. But Mims needs this victory. To have the momentum that he has and have it cut short can be defeating to a young talent who's just trying to make a name for himself. And Mims is beginning to make a name for himself. And one of the biggest things that is a challenge to come back to is when you first have that first sense of success. When you lose that success, it could devastate you. So if Mims is not able to overcome Tyrus and can't deal with not being able to overcome Tyrus, we could see the downfall of Mims. So I think Mims needs this. Tyrus doesn't.
Yeah.
I think the best case scenario for Mims is that he loses the match, but doesn't get injured and have his career cut short. So that's the best case scenario. So that's I'm sure what he's hoping for.
All right. Well, we got one more match to discuss, and then I want to talk to you guys about some weird news. I know we're running late, but I had some cool news, I thought, and then we'll talk about next week's NWA or tomorrow's NWA Power. Sorry, but how about this? A big national championship match. Chris Adonis, the challenge has been accepted, takes on Jax Dane to try to reclaim the national heavyweight championship. Guys, this is a big one. Chris Adonis, a 2-time national champion himself. Jax Dane, a 2-time national champion. So that's not really an advantage, I guess. Both these men are familiar with the national championship. And I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with this. Chris Adonis, of course, thinks the master lock and it's over, but I don't know. Jax Dane's going to be a tough man to lock that in on. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, no, I'm like, I mean, sure, the master lock is devastating, but have you seen Jax Dane? Like, that's not going to be an easy task to just, get him in that master lock. So I see Jax Dane remaining champion. But we'll see.
I mean, anything could happen in that match. One of the biggest advantages you have over somebody when you're in a title is if they've never been there before. Neither man has that right now because they've both been there before. They both have seen it. They've done it. They've lived it. Right now, the only thing that Jax has an advantage with in this match is that he's already champion. So he doesn't need to beat Chris. Chris needs to beat him. And I heard a little rumor that Chris is coming off of a slight injury there. And, whether or not that's true, that could really be something that Jax takes advantage of. So it remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, Jax has the ESQ on his side, Silvio, shenanigans afoot. I think Jax might come out on this one on top, but not because it's going to be clean.
Yeah, Danny, who's the good guy here? Both these guys are notorious for enjoying inflicting pain, as Eric Dale says in the chat. Both men are brutal, and willing to go into whatever areas they need to go into to get a win. I mean, what's a guy like Danny Dealz think happens when Jax Dane runs up against Chris Adonis?
Well, this one's a push, no points. If you pick it, it's straight up. I don't know. I think if Adonis puts on the masterpiece, it's over. Or the master lock, what I say? Masterpiece, whatever. But Jax is a KG veteran as well. I think Tyreek in the chat might be correct that Jax will find a way. And maybe you said this, Kyle. That was a long-ass train, so I didn't really hear it. But Chris has to win the belt, right? Like, he has to win the belt. Like, Jax doesn't, he can always take
championship advantage.
Yeah, you can always take a shortcut. Chris has to come get it. So I don't. I'm going to flip a coin. I'll have the betting lines up on 1-800-DEALZ closer to the event.
Yeah, I think if you officially say that on a YouTube broadcast, you have to start that hotline. Just saying.
Well,
Have you called it? Do you know for a fact it doesn't exist?
I don't know.
I'm like Mean Gene over here. Everyone's talking about it.
I do like the idea of the Dealz line. That's pretty fun. If you want some secret information,
yeah, that's right.
A former Impact legend coming to the NWA, and it's Danny Dealz. That's
yeah. What about that, buddy?
Anyway.
Hotlines, those used to be great. Before the internet, where you wanted to find out something, you either had to subscribe to a newsletter or call a number and get all the dirt. Oh, memories. Kids, you got it good right now.
That's true. You have no idea. All right. Well, let's. I know we're running late, but let's talk about some weird news I saw. Not some totally weird news, but President Corgan's been on a world tour for the Smashing Pumpkins here recently. In case you guys forgot, he is a world-renowned rock star.
If you forgot, he sold a gajillion albums.
Yeah, so that guy's staying busy besides just the NWA, but he is taking care of some wrestling issues. I saw him on social media looking at luchador masks the other day, and look at this. This was posted today. How about that? He is hanging out with the AAA general. What do you call him? It's like I'm trying to think of what his
official
thing
title is.
Yeah, Director General. That's what I'm looking for. Director General Dorian Roldana of AAA. And there he is. Look at those two guys hanging out. So no telling what that means, but they were at least hanging out together.
But if you want to know what it means, you need to call the hotline, Danny.
See? There you go, Kyle. There you go, Kyle. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm allowed in Mexico, so, that's cool.
Yeah, all right. Well, at least Danny Dealz will be there. So, do you speak Spanish, Danny?
I don't know if anything's happening, but I can cuss you out, ask you what time it is. A little bit.
Poquito.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. What else? What's the other news I saw? Oh, I loved this one. How about this one? This was courtesy of WrestleZone. Billy Corgan, we're talking about adding more titles to the NWA. This is according to WrestleZone. This is from during an appearance on 105.9 The Rock. Corgan explained that the NWA is talking about restoring the USA Tag Team Championship and creating a women's television championship. We brought back this historic belt with a 225 weight limit, which is interesting because that's sort of a tougher cruiserweight style than the kind that's currently out there, said Corgan. We're talking about bringing back USA tag belts. And then as well, maybe to do for the first time, a women's television title. Like the World Junior Heavyweight Championship, the NWA USA Tag Team titles haven't been utilized since 2017. In the women's division, Camille holds the NWA World Women's Championship. The Hex are the women's tag team championships. Interesting news. Now, I haven't heard this internally. I'm not even sure how much I'm supposed to talk about it, but it was on really 105. It's on 105.9 The Rock.
Okay.
It was on a radio.
Well, before you said WrestleZone,
supposedly.
I'll tell you guys off air a funny story about how accurate they can be.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe Kyle, you have any insight on this? Should I have not even mentioned
related
this?
to Billy. related to Billy. It's
There's
very
been
funny.
some internal conversations and possibly some designs that have been passed around, but I don't know.
You looked surprised when I brought that article up. You were like, "What?"
Yeah, maybe he didn't think
when you
he was
first
gonna
said
bring it up.
WrestleZone, I was like, has somebody been listening to conversations that I've had with people?
Yeah.
But if Billy's putting it out there, then obviously it's one of
That's
those
the only
things
reason I brought it up.
Yes, I
Well,
know
the USA tag belts, hold on a minute here. The USA tag belts will look really good around the old Begotten's waist. So he needs to bring those back.
It would just be really weird to have USA tag belts, but a national championship. I guess it would make more sense to have a U.S. championship. But then again, maybe I'm just saying things out loud. We'll see what happens.
I think you're just saying things out loud.
I always thought that was if we're just talking out of school here, I always thought that was just like a copyright thing or something, since
What?
other companies have a
US tag
title.
belts?
No, US title. No, well, the reason the national title is the national title. I mean, for our historians,
It was always the national title. It was national title when I was a kid on TBS.
Listen, that
Ronnie
title belt,
Garvin had it.
United States NWA championship as well.
that title belt was the United States Championship. The national title was a different title. So when you go back, like, if you want to get all historical,
we better ask Black Bart about it.
Yeah, it's there was a national title and there was a United States Championship too. So there were two different ones, but it's like they've merged.
This is a U.S. tag belt, right? Which actually, I think our Crockett Cup attendees,
you're talking about the
Heat
tag
Seekers,
titles.
had the U.S. belts and the world belts at the same time. Is that correct, William?
I do not. I cannot
Actually,
confirm.
it was. I was throwing.
Okay.
It, but yeah.
Well, I couldn't see your eyes. I couldn't see your eyes. So I didn't know.
Literally right before this show, and I just changed because I showered, but Roy kept mentioning Bobby Eaton, former U.S. tag champion.
Bobby Eaton.
Yeah, I had my Bobby Eaton shirt on, so
sure
that was cool. If you Great American Bash, I want to say, Will, do you remember what year that was? Over on TIPW show, we did some screenings over on like a little after the pandemic, and we watched.
86? No.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 86 or 87. There was a Midnight Express versus the Southern Boys.
I think it's 86.
I think that was 88. We did an 88 one.
Either way, look up
somewhere
Midnight
in the late
Express versus the Southern Boys. And it was the United States tag team titles. And that match is one of the best tag team wrestling matches you'll ever see in your entire
Well,
life.
Bobby Eaton was such a nice guy, and I know you guys will find this hard to believe, but he punched me one time, but I didn't hold it against him.
I don't find that hard to believe.
It is.
I had no
I
idea
don't know why
about this breaking news. until
Why
you
would
brought it
somebody
up.
punch Danny Dealz?
I don't know.
Why would someone not punch Danny Dealz? Is the better
Oh,
question.
now come on.
Because look at the deal I got on this shirt. Why would I punch that guy?
And the deal you got wearing over there. And look at this. I
Yeah.
got more of these too. Did I tell you that? That's,
The man is dressing me.
Danny Dealz
He really
drove
is.
Bobby Eaton around and charged him like $150 for gas to get to like the next town. So that's part of.
No, he wouldn't ride with me.
Brought him to the wrong town.
Also,
He wouldn't
that.
ride with me. I did give him wrong directions, so that might be why he hit me.
All right. Well, let's talk about NWA Power for tomorrow night. If you've got NWA All Access, if you don't have NWA All Access, some of you might be like, what is NWA All Access? Well, we don't have much time, but if there's anybody that can tell you about NWA All Access, I guess
It's
probably
Kyle
Dave.
Davis.
Yeah.
The National Wrestling Alliance and Fight brings you the ultimate streaming service for everything NWA. This is NWA All Access. For just $49.99 a year, you'll get every single NWA pay-per-view, NWA Power days before the rest of the world, NWA USA, and special Fight exclusive content. All the pay-per-views, all the action, all the power. For only $49.99 a year, that's a savings of over $100 versus just ordering everything alone. To subscribe, visit fight.tv today. That's FITE.tv. Join the thousands of fans that have already subscribed to the toughest brand in professional wrestling. The NWA, wrestling as it's meant to be.
Man,
Listen.
I wish that guy would just shut up.
I
chill
don't.
out, Kyle.
I love listening to him. I listen to him when I go to sleep at night. Kyle, do you remember the first time I met you was at Crockett Cup 2019 2019. And we talked there. You were hosting Q&As at the VIP.
That's right. And Bobby Eaton was part of that, if I remember right.
Bobby Eaton was there. Yeah. Bobby, Stan Lane, Dennis Condrey.
I liked him better when he was Robert. Remember when he was Robert?
Jim Cornette. Yeah. Yeah. All of them were there. But I had the podcast, and that's why I was there. And Kyle told me at the hotel that he went to sleep that night listening to my podcast. And I always thought that was the nicest thing. I was like, somebody cool listened to my podcast, besides all of you beautiful people. But
I fall asleep to podcasts and they auto fire. So I woke up to Pope yelling, woke up to Chelsea's, woke up to all kinds of stuff. NFL dudes screaming.
Yeah,
and I would
that
ask him
sleep
too, I'm like,
timer.
Elijah, what were you talking about here when you were screaming? He's like, what the hell? I was like, well, I woke up and it was on.
But that always stuck out to my mind, and I've always loved Kyle ever since. But anyway, my point is that do we have to tell you like why NWA All Access is the best thing in the world? $49.99 for a year. For a year.
This is the best. This is the best comment.
I love that it's helping this person get in the best shape of their life.
There we go.
Oh, I love it. Made regular.
Go, Daddy.
Lost
We got to
15
quote this
pounds.
and start putting this on. We have to start doing promos with like testimonials on it. That'll be good.
My family is the happiest it's ever been since getting All
Look at that.
Access.
Eric, love life is for the better. All access and chill, right? Everybody's dumping Netflix.
Nani's
What do we
all
do?
access, and her veggies are growing incredibly.
good for
my
your garden.
wife and I have the best relationship we've ever had because of NWA All Access. Until
Gary got
I
it and he
stay on
started
this
drinking again. It was great.
It's true. It's true. It helped me start drinking again. So-
There you go.
And
Hey, we all know you have a motorcycle, dude. Jesus.
Anyway, $49.99. You get a year, and that's all the pay-per-views. That sold me immediately. When I saw
That's a
that,
lot
I
of
was
Kyle
like,
Davis.
that's all that a
That's-
fan
that'll sell
needs.
you on it right there.
That's what they want to know, is that they get all the pay-per-views. But the cooler parts is you get all the other shows too, any kind of special events, and then you get NWA Power on Tuesday nights at 6:05, the traditional time for NWA Power. The only way you can do that is in All Access. No spoilers, because everybody's seen it for the first time. Right
You
then
get
and there.
Dealz. You get
Dealz.
Joseph.
Yeah. Wrestling with the MMA says, I got All Access at doors that were previously closed, magically open.
That's
for
what
me.
I'm talking about. What are we saying?
Man.
Right? We're
I mean,
changing
I don't want to step out of line wrestling with the MMA, but did you have a grandchild before NWA All Access? I don't think you did. So there you go, too. You're going to be a grandfather thanks to NWA All Access. Correlation may not equal causation, but it could. There you go. All right, let's talk about if you have NWA All Access. This is what you can expect tomorrow night on NWA Power. It's going to be an action-packed show at 6:05 Tuesday nights. Fight TV. That's where you got to go. If you missed it, you can't catch the replay on Fridays on YouTube. But what's in store for you? Well, a lot of things. How about this?
Chelsea.
Yeah, well, Paola Blaze is going to challenge Camille. This is a non-title match, but Paola Blaze has separated herself from Genocide, Tara Terrell, everyone. That whole group split up, and Paola thinks she's ready for the champ. Is she? I don't know. We're going to find out. That's going to be a big, big matchup, these two. What about
my biggest concern is that this is a great picture with two lovely ladies, and I'm still lost in Tom's eyes.
Who wouldn't be?
I hear that. You know what? I second that. I'm just going to put it out there. Look at that jacket, accentuating all the things that are Tom Latimer.
I'm picking Camille in this match.
I question anybody who doesn't pick Camille in any match, but okay.
I mean, anything's possible, but yeah.
Oh, this is right down Danny Dealz' alley. How about this? You want to get weird? Let's get weird when the dirty, sexy boys take on the miserably faithful. I've been waiting. I knew right away, as soon as I saw him, I needed to see Gags the Gimp in the same ring.
Blueberry, Yummy Mummy, and Count Chocula all in the same place.
Oh my
Sal
God.
looks very concerned about something off in the distance.
Well, that brother, his elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. Ever since he left the Dealz house. I'm going DSB here.
That's a good guess.
Maybe he has low T. Maybe that's why his elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. It's low testosterone.
You know what's weird? I got NWA All Access, and I no longer have low T, so that's weird.
Perfect.
There you go.
It's $49.99 for a year supply.
I like myself now.
You got to check that out, everybody. Also, you heard Matt Taven make the challenge. He wants the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. President Corgan apparently told him, all right, well, you can start that path as a singles wrestler, and it starts this week on NWA Power Tuesday night. Matt Taven is taking on Jedias. City Mini getting double duty on the Power Show, Danny.
Yeah, those City Minis.
City Mini?
I don't want to take credit for that. I think Danny Dealz said that first. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I used to call Count Chocula. That's what I used to
Hearing
call
you
Count
say
Chocula.
it was just out of character.
Yeah. Well, here I'm not going with Frankenberry here. I'm going with Kyle's cousin, Taven.
Okay.
It's risky.
This is gonna be a good one. Jedias is a brute, man. He is tough.
But I'm gonna give you a little information. Egg allergy. You just put a little egg on him, you take him right out.
There you go.
I used to have so many allergies until I purchased NWA All Access, and
I
was allergic to eggs. Results may vary.
Well, you know,
I feel like we have to say that legally.
Yes,
oh yeah,
results will vary.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
And
We
these
are an
statements
official.
These statements
We
have
are an
not
official
been,
NWA live
verified
stream.
by
Let's be real.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else. Well, how about this? Danny's girl Chelsea is entering a triple threat, just like Genocide said. Genocide's in there with Chelsea Green and Kylan King. This is a triple threat to determine the number one contender for the NWA Women's World Championship. The Burke. Who is the person that's going to step up to Camille to challenge for the Burke? I want to hear predictions. Let's go with Will. Will, who do you think?
Well, I mean, I touched on this briefly earlier, and I stand by what I said, that really no outcome would surprise me. So there's not necessarily a clear favorite. But, you know, if I go with my heart, I say we're going to see another title shot for Chelsea Green.
All right. Danny, you feeling the same?
I think so, too. I'm just worried about the Twin Towers ganging up on her, you know?
Well,
so it might turn into a handicap match.
Two badass ladies there. Yeah,
for Chelsea,
sure.
You know. But I mean, Chelsea should win. She is one of the top performers in the on the entire planet. But the other two could form an alliance and gang up on her. Might be a little tough.
Well, but only one person can win, though. Kyle, who do you think?
I'm gonna go with Genocide. I just feel like Genocide being part machine you never know. Sometimes robots go rogue. The AI that's happening there. I'm gonna go Genocide. I've seen her. She's a dangerous individual. Let's face it, Kylan King also a dangerous individual. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's time for Genocide to shine.
Wow, well, we're gonna both do this, and poor Kylan. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm going with Genocide. Look at that muscle there on that right arm. Just like,
I know that's what really popped me. I was like, look at that bicep.
Like Kylan's jacked too, though. Don't get it twisted. I mean,
Kylan has.
She's jacked too.
Oh, she's got it all. Don't get me wrong, but she's not used to the NWA. I just don't know if she's ready. We got Modus in the chat saying Genocide. Bobby saying Kylan. Modus going King. Well, make up your mind.
Nobody's picking Chelsea, but me and Will. This is heresy.
Chelsea Green has a card up her sleeve. I got to go with her, says Eric. Okay, all right.
There's only one person that should have cards up their sleeve. And that's Magic Jake Dumas, who's not in that match.
True.
So.
That's
or
true.
if you've got a special trick, like Bane Wrangler in the chat says, that's an all-access muscle, baby.
That's right, Daddy. That's right.
You get those. Naughty says, now that I think about it, I signed up for all access and I can back squat 70 kilograms. I don't know. I don't know how much that is.
Tyreek's comment up here because you got to put it up there so everybody can see.
Oh, Tyreek says Green is winning it all, including the Burke. I can see the Cardonas holding all the gold by NWA 74.
What do you think about that, Will?
Oh, that's you're talking
you guys
my
are like
language.
Purple people eaters. I'm telling you. You know.
There we go.
Well, you might think to yourself, that's a huge NWA power, but that's not all. That's not all the matches. That's just
there's more.
Warming you up. Oh yeah, there's a huge main event with Matt Cardona, and the Cardonas are going to be taking on Nick Aldis and the Commonwealth Connection, or the British Invasion and Harry Smith, or all the Cardona. I don't know. There's a Matt Cardona, Mike Knox, VSK are taking on Nick Aldis, Harry Smith, and Doug Williams. It's 6-man action. That's going to be a big match.
Monty Python versus Saturday Night Live. All right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean that.
I'm going
that does make
Cardonas
sense
here.
to me. All right. You're going SNL. I wouldn't have, but all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Monty Python's funnier, but I'm going Cardonas here. I don't see how they lose. You know, Michael and Vincenzo. Yeah, but they're Canadian, no?
No, exactly. They don't have whatever the hell they have in this fight. Cardonas have been on a roll as of late. At the end of the day, momentum is always what you have to look at looking at matches. And also shenanigans. Let's face it. The Cardonas aren't the cleanest of victories.
Oh,
And,
what is this about?
To win,
Oh my gosh.
if you're willing to cheat to win, you have an advantage over the people with the ethics. I'm going to tell you, the Commonwealth Connection, they have the ethics. History says.
Oh yeah, proper gentlemen.
But the Cardonas, I feel like they're going to take this one.
There's a lot of combinations of tag teams there over on the British Invasion Commonwealth Connection side. So I feel like they've got the experience they need. I know the Cardonas are family, but the real question is if Nick Aldis, Doug Williams, and Harry Smith get a win here, does that improve your opinion that Nick Aldis deserves that shot at the World's Heavyweight Championship?
It's not singles.
No, yeah. Then you're going to give Doug Williams a shot right away. You're going to give Harry Smith a shot. No, it doesn't.
Well,
work
they're getting
that
a shot at the tag team titles. That's already happening. Always Ready.
Yeah, but
who gets the world's title shot at Always
You
Ready?
can't look at it in a vacuum like that. You're saying, oh, if they win as a team, then Nick Aldis should get a title shot. That should answer the question. No, that's not. Again, that's not how it works.
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP goes to one dude, doesn't go to the whole team.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying, how many matches does
but
Nick
don't you
Aldis
get a
have to be a
ring
part
if
of and
you-
win?
They do. Don't act like you know about sports all of a sudden, Kyle. No, they do. They do.
You're right.
But the MVP's one. It's one guy gets a truck and a trophy and a commercial or something.
And goes
Right.
to Disney.
Yes.
All right.
So
well,
Cardona's with the
whatever.
win. And me and Will we're on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, that goes
Cardona
without saying
did
for me.
celebrate his championship win by going to Disney. So.
The only question is, do they win in 3 minutes or 10 minutes? That's the only question.
All right. Well, the only way to find out for sure is tomorrow night on NWA Power 6:05, and the only way you can watch it is on Fight with All Access. So you got to get in on that. $49.99 for a whole year.
Fix
Get all the
all your
pay-per-view.
problems. It'll bring all the joy you need in your life. Let's say you have a shortcoming. All of a sudden, that shortcoming's gone. Let's say you have needs in your life that aren't being met. They will be fulfilled. Again, none of these are promised, but still. All Access seems to be changing people's lives on a daily basis, and it can happen to you.
Your
Billy
life
Bones calling them the Camelot Connection.
your life is like when we say this, your life and a wrestling event are the same. Card subject to change, but you will be fulfilled. But you got to get at NWA All Access.
Show on that.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for everybody. We appreciate you. Thanks for being a part of this. Everybody in the chat, man, it's been a great crowd already. We appreciate every single one of you. We hope you're back next Monday night at 6:30, 6:40, somewhere in there. We'll be around. And
Special guest, right, Danny?
Yeah, I got
special guest next week.
Andy Dealz has promised a special guest, so
right.
God only knows what that means. But we're gonna find
It'll be
out.
good.
It's gonna be awesome.
We've kept you long enough. Thank you for being here. We love you. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, you guys enjoy your gravy.